On a seemingly quiet night in Stevensville, Maryland, serenity took a dark and baffling turn when 51-year-old Robin Pope vanished without a trace. What began as a simple visit to her estranged husband's home spiraled into a mystery that left her loved ones and the entire community grasping for answers. Her car was left behind, along with her phone and belongings, but Robin was gone. Days later, the body of her loyal Great Dane, Bella, was discovered in the frigid waters nearby. Weeks after that, Robin's own remains surfaced under equally puzzling circumstances. What really happened that night? Was it an accident, or could there have been something more sinister at play? This story is filled with unanswered questions, strange discoveries, and theories that will leave you questioning everything. Stay with me as I unravel the haunting mystery of Robin's disappearance and death. Join me for another ride through the strange, odd, and mysterious here at Odd Mystery Stories. Robin Pope was a woman who seemed to embody resilience and devotion. At 51 years old, she lived in the town of Stevensville, Maryland, a close knit community surrounded by the serene Chesapeake Bay. Robin had faced her share of challenges, including a courageous battle with breast cancer. Despite this, she remained strong, determined to carve out a life filled with love and purpose. Robin was deeply committed to her family, especially her two daughters, who were the center of her world. She was known for her nurturing nature and the quiet strength that carried her through life's ups and downs. Friends described her as thoughtful and reliable, someone who could always be counted upon. Her love extended to animals, particularly her beloved Great Dane, Bella. The two were inseparable, with Bella often acting as a comforting presence during life's most difficult moments. Their bond was so strong that it became a defining feature of Robin's life. Her personal relationships, however, were more complicated. She had been married to Wayne Pope, but their marriage was strained, and they were living separately at the time of her disappearance. Despite this separation, Robin and Wayne maintained some level of contact, which would later play a critical role in the events leading up to her mysterious disappearance. Robin's life, marked by resilience, love, and complexity, made her a figure many could relate to. She wasn't just another face in a mystery, she was a mother, a survivor, and a beloved friend. But even with her strength, Robin's life would take a turn that no one could have foreseen. Who could have imagined that this seemingly ordinary life would become the center of a mystery that still haunts those who knew her? March 1st, 2013, began as an unremarkable evening in Stevensville, Maryland, but it would soon unravel into a night shrouded in mystery. Robin had returned to the home she once shared with her estranged husband, Wayne, to retrieve some personal belongings. The visit seemed routine, hardly the kind of moment that would end in such baffling circumstances. According to Wayne, Robin arrived at the house and planned to stay for a brief time. At some point during her visit, Wayne decided to leave the house for a while. When he returned, things took a perplexing turn. Robin's car was still in the driveway, a sign she hadn't left, but there was no trace of her inside. Adding to the oddity, her purse, keys, and cell phone were found sitting untouched in her vehicle. The couple's Great Dane, Bella, was also missing, deepening the mystery. A loyal and protective companion, Bella's absence was particularly alarming. It was out of character for Robin to vanish without a word or to leave her personal items behind, especially without her dog by her side. Wayne's next steps were critical to the timeline. He reported Robin's disappearance to the authorities, setting off a chain of events that would grip the small town in a cloud of uncertainty. Initial searches turned up nothing, and the circumstances of that night left investigators and the community alike with more questions than answers. How does a woman, known for her stability and routine, vanish so suddenly? What happened during those moments while Wayne was away? These questions lingered as the search for Robin, and the truth, began in earnest. The first significant clue in Robin's disappearance came on March 2nd, 2013, when search efforts led to the discovery of her beloved Great Dane, Bella. The dog's body was found floating near a neighbor's pier just a short distance from Wayne's home. This discovery, while tragic, deepened the mystery surrounding Robin's fate. Bella's condition raised more questions than it answered. There were no visible signs of injury or trauma, leading investigators to suspect that the dog had died from hypothermia while struggling in the frigid Chesapeake Bay waters. Yet, how Bella ended up in the water remained unclear. Was she following Robin in distress, or had something else driven her there? The connection between Bella's death and Robin's disappearance remained uncertain. For those who knew Robin, the loss of Bella was a heartbreaking blow. The bond between the two had been unshakable, and the idea that Bella's death could be linked to Robin's situation added a layer of emotional weight to the investigation. To many, it seemed unthinkable that Robin would have willingly left Bella behind in such peril. Bella's discovery shifted the focus of the search. While the authorities continued to comb the area for signs of Robin, they now had a chilling clue that hinted at a potential sequence of events. However, without further evidence, the mystery remained frustratingly unsolved. Was Bella's death a tragic coincidence, or did it hold a deeper significance to Robin's fate? As the days passed, the urgency to find Robin only intensified, leaving investigators and her loved ones grappling with an unsettling question. If Bella had been found in the water, could Robin be there too? As news of Robin's disappearance spread, the community of Stevensville rallied together in a collective effort to find her. Law enforcement, volunteers, and specialized search teams joined the forces, determined to uncover any trace of the missing woman. The shoreline, wooded areas, and waters near Wayne Pope's home became the focus of intense search operations. Canine units and dive teams were deployed to scour the frigid Chesapeake Bay and its surrounding areas. The terrain presented significant challenges with dense vegetation and murky waters complicating the search. Helicopters equipped with thermal imaging combed the area from above, while volunteers painstakingly searched on foot, hoping to spot something that had been overlooked. Despite these efforts, days turned into weeks without any significant breakthroughs. Robin's family and friends clung to hope, but the lack of new evidence left them feeling helpless. The discovery of Bella's body had provided a clue, but it also raised more questions about Robin's whereabouts. The search had also brought the community closer together, with neighbors offering their time and resources to aid in the effort. Candlelight vigils were held to keep Robin's story in the public eye and to provide solace to her family. Yet, as the days dragged on, a haunting uncertainty settled over Stevensville. How could someone vanish so completely, leaving behind no clear trail? On March 23, 2013, 22 days after Robin was last seen, this uncertainty gave way to a grim discovery. A fisherman along the shoreline of Kent Island stumbled upon a body, later confirmed to be Robin's. The search had ended, but the mystery of what happened to Robin Pope was far from over. On March 23, 2013, nearly 3 weeks after Robin's disappearance, the Chesapeake Bay yielded a grim discovery. A fisherman along the shoreline of Kent Island spotted human remains, partially submerged and tangled in the water's edge. The body was later identified as Robin Pope, marking a tragic end to the search, but leaving the mystery of her fate unresolved. Robin's body was in a state of decomposition, complicating efforts to determine the cause and manner of her death. An autopsy performed by the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner could not establish how she had died, ruling the cause and manner of death as, quote, undetermined. This lack of clarity only deepened the questions surrounding her disappearance. The location of her body raised additional concerns. Kent Island is a considerable distance from where Bella had been found, suggesting that Robin may have entered the water elsewhere or had been carried by the bay's currents. Investigators explored the possibility of accidental drowning, but without definitive evidence, the circumstances remained murky. For Robin's loved ones, the discovery brought a bittersweet mix of emotions. While it ended weeks of agonizing uncertainty about her whereabouts, it offered no answers as to how or why she ended up in the bay. The case remained under investigation, with authorities leaving no theory off the table. Was Robin's death a tragic accident, or could foul play have been involved? As her family mourned her loss, the community of Stevensville grappled with the unsettling lack of closure. The discovery of her body provided a piece of the puzzle, but it left the most pressing questions unanswered. Robin's death left investigators with more questions than answers, spurring a range of theories that sought to explain her tragic end. The initial focus was on whether her death was the result of an accident or something far more sinister. One of the first possibilities explored was accidental drowning. The Chesapeake Bay's frigid waters and unpredictable currents can easily claim a life, especially if someone entered the water unexpectedly. Investigators considered whether Robin may have gone outside, perhaps looking for Bella, and fallen into the water. However, there was no clear evidence to support this theory, and Robin's loved ones found it hard to believe she would venture near the bay at night without good reason. Another theory centered around the potential for foul play. Robin's estranged husband Wayne came under scrutiny due to his proximity to the events. Wayne had reported Robin was missing and cooperated with the investigation, but some found his account of the night puzzling. Why had he left the house while Robin was visiting, and what happened during the time he was gone? Authorities questioned Wayne extensively, but did not name him or anyone else as a suspect. Speculation also arose about whether Bella's death might hold a clue. Had the dog tried to follow Robin into the water, or had something spooked both of them, leading to a tragic sequence of events? Bella's death from hypothermia was consistent with accidental circumstances, but it left the timing and the nature of events leading to Robin's death unresolved. The lack of injuries or clear signs of a struggle on Robin's body further muddied the waters. Investigators found no conclusive evidence of violence, which might have pointed to homicide, but they also couldn't rule it out entirely. The case remained classified as undetermined, leaving room for both plausible and outlandish explanations. These lingering uncertainties fueled ongoing speculation among the community and those who followed Robin's story. Was her death the result of an unfortunate accident, or was there something more at play? Without definitive answers, theories continued to swirl, each raising their own set of unsettling questions. Robin's disappearance and death left a profound impact on her family, friends, and the community of Stevensville. For those who knew her best, the unanswered questions surrounding her final moments made their grief even harder to bear. Her daughters, in particular, faced the heartbreaking loss of a mother who had been the source of strength and love throughout their lives. In the wake of Robin's death, her family expressed their determination to find answers. Publicly, they urged anyone with information to come forward, hoping that even the smallest detail could shed light on what had happened. Their advocacy was matched by the community's continued support. Neighbors who had participated in the initial searches stayed engaged, rallying behind the Pope family with offers of help and unwavering solidarity. Candlelight vigils became a way for the community to honor Robin's memory, while keeping attention on the unresolved aspects of her case. These gatherings were filled with heartfelt tributes as friends and neighbors spoke of Robin's kindness, resilience, and devotion to her loved ones. The outpouring of support underscored how deeply her story had touched those around her. For many, the discovery of Bella's body added an emotional layer to their mourning. The bond between Robin and her dog was well known, and Bella's tragic end became a symbol of the mystery that continued to haunt the community. Together, Robin and Bella's deaths left a void that was impossible to ignore. While authorities continued their investigation, the lack of clear answers left a lasting sense of unease. The Pope family remained steadfast in their pursuit of the truth, refusing to let Robin's story fade into obscurity. For them, and for those who stood by their side, the hope for resolution remained a guiding force amid the uncertainty. The question lingered: how could someone like Robin, surrounded by people who cared so deeply, vanish so suddenly and die under such puzzling circumstances? The search for answers had brought people together, but the mystery of her death continued to weigh heavily on everyone involved. As time has passed, Robin's case remains a haunting mystery. Despite extensive investigations and widespread community efforts, the exact circumstances of her death are still unknown. Law enforcement officials have classified the case as undetermined, leaving her family and the Stevensville community with more questions than answers. No suspects have ever been officially named, and the lack of definitive evidence has stalled progress. Theories abound, some pointing to accidental drowning, while others suggest the possibility of foul play. However, without new leads or discoveries, these remain speculative at best. The forensic challenges posed by her body's state of decomposition have only added to the mystery, making it difficult to piece together the sequence of events that led to her tragic demise. For Robin's family, the lingering uncertainty has been a heavy burden. Her daughters, who have already endured the loss of their mother, continue to grapple with the unanswered questions surrounding her death. The emotional toll of not knowing what truly happened has left an indelible mark on those closest to her. In the years since Robin's death, the case has become a cautionary tale of how even the most meticulous investigations can leave crucial questions unanswered. Her story serves as a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the unpredictable turns that can leave loved ones searching for answers. As we reflect on Robin's life, the mystery of her death endures. Was it an unfortunate accident, a deliberate act, or something else entirely? The truth remains elusive, leaving behind a puzzle that continues to intrigue and haunt all who hear her story. For those who knew Robin, the hope for resolution has not faded. Her family and friends remain steadfast, advocating for justice and keeping her memory alive. While answers may one day emerge, what is certain is the lasting impact Robin Pope's story has had on her community and for those who continue to seek the truth. Thanks once again for watching my video. My name is Vince. Would you please consider supporting my channel by either buying me a cup of coffee at the link below, or even treating yourself to some merchandise at my online shop? I truly appreciate your support. If you enjoyed this story, you might also be interested in the story of the mystery around Kristen Modafferi out in San Francisco. You will find the link to that story in the upper right corner of your screen. Thank you.